This is the Resilience Code, turning adversity into strength, one story at a time. I am your host, Arbaina Kawilan, and if you have a story of your own, there's a link in my bio. I've always known trees remember, not the way humans do, but through their rings. Every year, they grow a new one, recording what the tree lived through: the storms, the droughts, the seasons of plenty and loss. If a neighboring tree fails, the rings even shift. The cells change shape, like a kind of cellular grief. The rings are memories. But when I visited the Muir Woods in San Francisco, that truth stopped being something I knew and became something I felt. That trip marked my 1 year anniversary since leaving my abuser. San Francisco was supposed to be our first trip together 2 years before, but COVID stopped it. So when I finally went, I planned it that way. Because one thing about me, I live by symbolism. I wanted that trip to mean something. I wanted to return to the place where it once represented what could have been and turn it into what became. It wasn't about revenge, it was about reclamation, closing an old loop and opening a new one. When I walked beneath those redwoods, it felt like walking through centuries of survival. You can't stand among them without realizing that time has texture. You can see it, layered right there in the wood. Some of those trees lived through fires, wars, droughts, and still they rise. Looking at them, I thought, so do I. Before my healing journey, I resented my own rings. I couldn't understand why my soul would choose this much pain. Why choose to be sexually abused as a child? Why choose poverty, teenage pregnancy, two abusive marriages, and homelessness in a foreign country? Why choose to suffer that much when others seem to live easier lives? I carried that resentment like it was logic. Because what kind of soul signs up for that? But maybe our souls aren't being punished. Maybe they're ascending, like players moving through a video game level, each one harder, demanding new skills. Every time we survive, we unpack a new ability: empathy, discernment, grace, boundaries. And that every ring we earn is proof of an upgrade. The redwoods showed me that trees don't erase what happened to them. They expand around it. Each year adds another ring, not hiding the pain, but holding it. And maybe that's what healing is, growing wide enough to make peace with what's already etched inside you. When I stood there, looking up those giants, I felt this calm certainty. My soul has been collecting rings all along. Every season that almost break me simply was forming another layer of strength. And every time I thought I was done, another ring began. So now when I think about my story, I don't ask why anymore. I ask, what did this ring teach me? And when you see your life that way, not as a punishment, but as a progression, you realize you've been leveling up the whole time. Maybe we don't lose the parts of ourselves when we heal. Maybe we just became more spacious, wider, wiser, stronger, ring by ring. So today I wanted to ask you, what rings have you grown through this year? Which ones still ache when you look back? And which ones remind you how far you've become? And if every ring is a record of survival, what story do you want the next one to tell? Because resilience isn't about starting over. It's about realizing you've been becoming all along. That's it for today's story. If it stayed with you, sit with it. If it helped, pass it on. And if you've got something of your own, there's a link in my bio. You don't have to fix it. Just name it. And always remember that resilience isn't about pretending you're okay. It's about choosing, again and again, not to be hardened, but to be changed.